Hey everybody, welcome to Ken Knows Gambling, and today's video I want to do something a little bit different. Actually, a subscriber of mine, his name is Bob, he sort of wanted to see bankroll, I think bankroll money management. How do I determine bankroll? And how do I determine bankroll for specific strategies? Because there is a difference, and I will explain that today. He also wanted me to maybe run over strategies holes. Well, I told him, I say, Bob, every strategy has holes. Every one of them. There is no holy grail. But if you have a specific, I can't get that out of my mouth, specific strategy, and you want to see specific holes, then I'm going to ask you to give me that particular strategy. Then I can show you the holes in it. But today, we want to talk about bankroll, how you manage that bankroll, but how, more importantly, do you come up with the bankroll for a specific strategy? So that's what I want to do today. Before we get over there, I just want to shout out to John at Pro Craps, Dylan at Skill and Luck. I wanted to shout those two out specifically. I appreciate everybody's concern. I appreciate everybody's love that has been pouring out to me. John Davis, Keith, there's a score, you guys. And I appreciate everybody so much. Ken's going to be okay. Trust me, you can't. I think Waylon said you can't keep a good man down. Well, I don't know if I'm a good man or not, but by God, you ain't going to keep me down. But there's a lot of love coming out of the YouTube channel, and I appreciate each and every one of you, but especially to John at Pro Craps, Dylan, Skill and Luck. Truly, truly, dear friends. And I thank you very, very much from the bottom of my heart. Okay, let's get over to the table. Let's look at this bankroll thing and how we determine bankroll per strategy. So I'm going to just hush my mouth and let's just get over to the table. Let's get to it. All right, everybody, we're over at the table, and today we want to discuss bankroll, bankroll management, but more importantly, how do you create the bankroll? How do you decide what you're going to do? How do you decide with how much money is going to be your session money? How do you decide this stuff? Well, that's what we're going to talk about right now. And a lot of it depends on the strategy that you're going to do. However, as far as how much you bring to the table, what I'm going to bring generally is 20 times my base unit. You've heard of 10, you've heard of 20, you've heard of 30, 40. Oh my God. I mean, you can bring what you want. But a good rule of thumb for me, now I can't speak for anybody else. I can only speak for Ken, okay? I always used to like to bring 20 times. But what does that mean? Let's say we're doing $25 units, okay? What strategy are we going to play? All right, let's think about it. If you're going to use 25, and I guess I could use 10s just to make math way easier. Let's do 10s. Let's say you're at a $10 table, and your bet is going to be a $10 pass line. You're going to do that $10 pass line over, or the don't pass, it doesn't matter. You're going to do that same bet over and over and over again until you win or lose, okay? So that means your base bet is $10. What do you need? You need 20 times that, okay? That would mean if you're going to play just that way, nothing else, you need $200. That's 20 times 10, okay? However, what if you were going to do the don't pass spread, let's say. And let's say the maximum would be if somebody, if the point was a 10 or a 4, and you wanted to do maximum odds 3 times, so what do you have to put out here? Well, to win 10, 20, 30, you got to put 60 bucks out here, right? We'll just pretend that's 60 bucks. 60, half of that is 30, which is 3 times. So what do you have? You have 60 and you have 10. That's $70. Okay? 70 times 10 is 700. 70 times 20 is 1,400. You have to use a unit. What is your max unit? Now, this is according to me. Other people may have different theories on that, and I'm not saying anybody's wrong. This is just me. So I want whatever my maximum possible bet can be, I want 20 times that. Okay, let's say that you were doing, John over at their Pro Craps, you were doing his Hedgeless Horseman. We know that he does 4 units per shooter, okay? I want you to forget about per shooter right at the moment, okay? Here's what I want you to do. You're going to have to put a 10 there. You're going to have to put 10 here, but he has 4 units to do that. So it might look something like that. 4 units. That's the max that he can do per shooter. But again, forget shooters. At any one come out, it's 4 units. That's what I'm trying to say. All right, you got $40 as your max play. Okay, you need an $800 bankroll to do it at $10. That's 20 times 40. It's not 20 times 10, unless that's all you were going to play. It's 20 times your max. And in this case, your max is 40. Therefore, 10 is 400, 20 is 800. Well, Ken, why do you need so damn much money? You have to give yourself room to lose. All right? There's no perfect strategy, and some of this stuff will lose. I think you've watched everybody's YouTube channel, and you see people go in streaks, whether they're on a winning streak or whether they're on a losing streak. Bless John over at Pro Crap. Sometimes I've seen him where he can't buy a win. He just can't. And other times I've seen him roll like crazy, right? I've seen Waylon do it. I've seen Dylan do it. I've seen a bunch of y'all do it. You have to give yourself room to fail. You have to give yourself enough room to take the loss, but then be able to come back out while you're waiting for your math to even itself out. Okay, let's talk about another strategy, perhaps. There's a lot of people who like insides. I'm just going to make this as easy peasy as a general rule of thumb. Okay, you asked me, so I'm telling you. All right, let's say that you wanted to work the pass line. Okay, you're going to go a $10 pass line. And let's say you're always going to do double odds. And we'll just put them back here just like that. Okay? But you're also going to do an inside. Okay? 44 inside, let's say. I'm going to forget about these $2 because I don't care. Okay? But if you've got 30 back here, okay? 10 times 30 is 300, so you need 600 to work this. You need 600 to work this. This here, you got $40. So 10 times is 400. You need $800 to work this. Okay? 40 times 10 is 400, times 2 is 8. So you need 800 for this, and you need you need 600 for this. Total, it'll come up to your total bankroll. So we have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 units. is what we're going to have in play. So that's $1,400. That's 20 times max. Okay, so I hope y'all got that part. It's just 20 times your max possible bet in your specific strategy. All right, now, because when you come to the table, you have to have an idea of what you're trying to accomplish. Now, watch this though. What if you only have a few $100s? I suggest you don't play. I know that's tough for you, but unless you have 20 times your max bet, then you can't play any strategy properly. Oh yeah, you can play it, but if you come in too short, you don't have room to fail. All right, that's pretty much the bottom line of that. Now, let's talk about these win goals, these pesky win goals and loss limits. Well, I think everybody knows me by now. I'm pretty damn conservative, y'all. And I know I did the video yesterday, and the cold hard truth about grinding. It leads me to this topic. I talked to John today, and because I think he's going to be the better guy to do this, if he wants to. If he don't want to do it, I'm going to do it. But I just thought with his more subscribers and how he's got the tools to do everything, I want to give you guys a thought. Okay. We always talk about strategies. We always talk about bankroll. We always talk about discipline. And I'm going to get back to loss limits and win goals here just in a second, but they sort of tie in. We talk about the holes in all the strategies. What's one thing that we never, ever talk about? Okay, and nobody likes talking about what I'm fixing to say, but I think it's important. My brother-in-law Chuck came up with this thought, and I thought, wow, you know what? I don't think anybody on YouTube's ever done this before or even thought about it. But what about if the hole, you got the hole in the strategy, but what if you have a hole? Think about that for a second. What if you have a hole? Okay. What do I mean by that? I mean, maybe you come with a solid bankroll, okay? And let's say you lose half of it. You may be the type of guy that just freaking can't stand to lose, okay? And for what I'm telling you, you sort of have to be able to look in the mirror and know the black buzzard truth about yourself, okay? Let's say you've lost half of it. Let's say you're the type of guy that doesn't have win goals or loss limits, okay? You're willing to risk it all, but you're not a grinder either, okay? You might be a grinder until you get down. Then you may be the guy that goes, screw it. I want what I just lost, that half. I want it now. I don't want to grind it. Screw it. I want it now. And you put it all on the field. A non-field number comes up now, and one shot, you're broke because you didn't have the patience to work the system. You didn't have a loss limit first. There's the first hole in you. And I'm not saying this negatively to dog anybody, because I don't know any of you's, thought process at all. So I'm speaking generically. But the hole in that situation, the hole is in you, okay? Because strategies are hard enough with the holes that they have. But if you come to the table with a flaw, like, yeah, I've lost half my money, screw it, I'm going for all of it right now. Well, to me, that is a hole. Okay? Or you're the guy that'll lose it all. And then you have to go to the ATM. Okay? So maybe not being able to grind a profit, maybe not being able to have a win goal or a loss limit, all that can be, and I'm going to stress that, can be a psychological or a hole in your gambling world. And so I think sometimes we have to look at ourselves and go, you know what? That has been a problem of mine for X amount of time. And to really do this strategy with the holes that it has in it, maybe I need to fix the hole which is in me. I need to fix the hole in me before I can do anything about the holes in the strategies, if that makes sense. So John, if you're watching this, I know me and you talked, and I won't really go any further into that, just in case you want to do something like this and go over all the different personalities in gambling. And there's several. I mean, I'd have to get a list and write them, but I know there's 7, 8, 9 that I could come up with just like that. But anyway, it sort of goes into bankroll money management. Okay, if you don't have money management, then there's a hole in you somewhere. Now, I will say this before I go to money management. I will say this. There are some folks, they can come to the casino with $500 or $5,000 for that matter. They pulled it out of their sock drawer. It absolutely means nothing to them. Okay? They could just as soon take $5,000 and rip it up and go, Happy New Year. Well, you know what? There's not many folks like that, but if that's you and you have more money than God and you don't care, you're the type of guy that can go ahead and put $5,000 out there, lose it in one shot, go to the ATM, get another, and it doesn't bother you. Okay, you won't lose a wink's sleep. Well, you're an anomaly. And so I guess I'm not talking about you per se. There's a lot of people that will play that way. They go with X amount of dollars, they expect to lose it, and they just want to have fun. Hey, maybe there's no hole in that at all. Maybe that's okay. Designed on your personal finances, and how you like doing stuff. But for those of us that are trying to get into systems, and we're trying to get into money management, bankroll, strategies, well, then everything I'm saying is probably for you. All right. Let's assume then that we have, we'll call it, I don't know, what have I got here? There's 100. Let me use greens now, or blacks. There's 1,000. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 1, 2, 3. Let's get one more. 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Let's say you figured out the strategy that you want to play. Let's figure out, we'll pretend that this $3,000 is at least 20 times your unit bet. Whether it's a 1 bet or 4 bets, maximum bets, 20 times that. Okay. We'll assume it's 3,000. Let's talk about money management, win goals, and loss limits. Okay. Me, 30%, for me, it's a conservative loss limit, but it keeps me from losing too damn much money if I'm on a bad run. So $3,000, 30% is about what, $900, I think, right? 300, 300, 300. So, if you lose $900, it's time for you to go. Well, what if you go, Ken? That's too low a limit for me. It may work for you, but it doesn't work for me. That's okay. I'm not trying to force 30% down anybody's throat. What I want you to get is the concept of it. Maybe yours, maybe you take it to 50%. Okay? Let me do it this way. Your loss limit should be a percentage that you feel comfortable with, that you can handle psychologically, and it might be 50%. Maybe it's 75%. I'll leave that up to the individual. But don't ever, ever, ever go to the table without at least some kind of loss limit. All right? I think 50% should be max. If it's not happening for you, your strategy, your system, the way you play, and I don't care if it's blackjack, pie gow, poker, baccarat, doesn't matter. If what you're doing ain't doing it, and half your money is gone, your day ain't going well. So instead of using a whole lot more of it, you've lost 50%. Why don't you stop? Okay? Maybe you can come back with a different strategy, okay, that might not require so much money. Instead of using blacks, bring them down to greens so you can still have a 20 times your base money, and try something else and work your way back. But if you lose it all, what can you do with, nothing from nothing, leave nothing? You have nowhere to go but to the ATM. And Lord knows we don't want to do that. So, me, it's generally 30% of my session money. Now, let me break this down for you. I did this in an early video. You have a master bankroll. I don't care what this master is. Okay? It could be 10,000, 100,000. It's a master bankroll. Okay. If you have enough of your master, you only have to bring a portion of that master to the casino. But let's say you have $10,000. Okay, fine. But this trip, you want to bring $2,000 or you want to bring $3,000. Fine. There's $1,000. Let's say you're going to bring 4,000 of that master. All right. You're up in your room. You have $4,000. You had $10,000 master. You come to the casino with $4,000. That is your, what I call sub-master. Master is at home, in your bank, whatever. Then you're going to come to the casino with a session master. Okay? A session master, which is a portion of your total master. Okay? I hope you get that. So now you're doing 4,000. Now you have to decide everything that we just went over. If you need, $1,000 is your 20 times your base, you can have 4 sessions. That's all the sessions you get. 4 sessions at 1,000. Maybe you're working the red chips. You bring 4, and maybe you only need $500 a session. Well, great. You can break that into 8 sessions, and you bring $500 to the table every time. That is sort of up to you, as long as you understand master bankroll, casino bankroll, and then if you're going to do 1,000, or 500 or whatever, that's a session, that's a session, that's a session, that's a session, that's a session. Break it up into sessions, man. And go try to win your goal each session. You know? Now, here's the nasty. I think you guys got that. I hope. You can always email me, comment, whatnot. I think more people have a loss limit than they do a win goal. And my win goal, now remember, goal has always been 20%. 20%. And I know there's a lot of folks out there that go, I won't get out of bed for 20%. Well, if that's you, that's fine. Don't get out of bed. But I use 20%. Well, you can do it just like your loss limit. If 20% is not enough, you can amp it up to 30%. But it's hard, man. It is hard to win, this 50%. Oh, you've done it. We've all done it from time to time. But most of the time, man, it's just not that easy. I know John did a challenge. Hey, just win 3 lousy units. Sometimes, man, you can't. Okay? So I do a 20% win goal. All right, let's say, I brought $1,000. There's the 1,000. Of course, I'm just using chips. I mean, it's not 20 times. You're just going to have to get my flow here. Okay? And I win 2 units. $20 of that 1,000. I have now hit goal. Once you get hold of your goal, you need to think seriously about exiting that session. Because if you can do this times all your session money, at the end of the day, you're going to have 20% of your 4,000. It adds up. Okay? Maybe your win goal is 30%. Maybe it's 50%. But the higher you make your win goal, the harder it is to do, and the deeper you may have to get into your session money, which can cause you problems. All right, but we're going to go back to 2. All right, once you see, that you've hit your 20%, your brain is thinking goodbye. That's what your brain is thinking. It should be. But let's say you got an extra one. You've hit 30%. What do? Okay. Option A. Take your 30% and get off that table. The end. There's option A. I like option A, actually. Option B. Take your bankroll, your initial session money, plus your 20% win. Lock that puppy up. In this case, you got 100. Break it into reds. Try to make that work. This is called excess. And you can try to turn that 100. See if you can get lucky. See if you can get on a couple rolls. Maybe you build that up into another 100. Okay? But let's say, and I'm just going to use these chips. Let's say I had excess, and we'll just call it a unit. I don't care that they're hundreds or fives. It doesn't matter. Let's say you've got 10 chips. These can be fives. As a matter of fact, let's just make it easy. Let's make them fives. There's $50. Let's say this is your excess. You have locked up your session money. You have locked up your win goal. But you have 50 extra bucks profit. If you're not going to just take that and slide that back over in your rack like I like to do, and you want to get creative with this is the money to do it. Now watch this. I'm going to give you another twist. Who is to say, now I want y'all to catch this. Who is to say that you have to take your $50 or whatever your excess is? Who's to say you have to play it on the damn crap table? Who says you have to do that? You know, everything I've ever seen about excess is taking that excess and keep to play the same game that you're playing. While yes, that is an option, but let me give you a different option. Maybe you take that $50, remember this is excess, right? And you turn it into 5 $10 sessions on a slot machine. What's wrong with that? You could, okay? One of them $10 shit, you could win 15, 20 bucks pretty easily, okay? But if you lost them all, so what? It's your excess money. You took a little excess money and now you tried to go for the big win. Whether you did it in slots, you know, maybe you went to the big wheel, or you went to anything that you wanted to. Maybe you went to the sports book, okay, and you put $5, $10 wagers, you know, on sports teams. My point is, when you get to excess on any game, doesn't mean you have to play the excess on that game. Hear me. I can't tell you how many times I take excess, I go play a slot and get lucky. It happens. You probably got a better shot at turning that $50 into something worthwhile, maybe an extra 10 or 20, than taking a very, very short stack bankroll and trying to do it in craps. I think we've proven that. So again, another option: take your $50 and take it somewhere else. Take it to slots, Keno, I don't care. Whatever is the big win. Risk your excess and try to go for the moon instead of taking your excess and trying to grind. Just an option, okay? All right, so whatever you do, have a win goal of your session. Whatever you bring to that table, $1,000, you want to win 200. If you bring, 200, you want to win 40. Once you get over goal, break that into excess. And then you do what the hell you want to with it. Now, if you're going to stay on the table with the excess, now I want you to do this. So there's your excess. We'll put it right here, okay? And let's say you're going to do a $10 don't pack. Now, let's do a $10 field, okay? What if you win the $10 field? Here's what I want you to do. I want you to up and pull. Your next bet, say, would be 15. Rack 5 back into your guarantee. This $5 will never come out and see this table again. You're going to use excess to see if you can turn that money into something else. But the only way you're going to be able to do that is either up and pull, or every win, cut it in half. Okay, there's my original 10. Cut it in half, rack. Okay, add, up and pull. So let's say you win that one. Okay, up it, now pull 10. Remember how you started with a $50 excess? Now all of a sudden, you're up 10 bucks, 15 bucks already. If you lose this, so what? Okay, so understand the rule of halves, or up and pull. If you don't understand up and pull, go check out one of my videos on that. Okay, so you've got a variety of ways to do this. So Bob, I hope this helps you. I try to be fairly generic about it. But anybody, if you have any specific questions for me, leave me a comment, or if you need me to, go over something again, clarify something. But understand, your bankroll, your money management doesn't have to be exactly like mine. If I'm too tight for you, fine, loosen it up a little bit. But as long as you have a win goal and a loss limit, and then you do something with your excess, you're going to be fine, okay? It's all you can do. Because gambling, y'all, it's not about the strategy you think it is. And I know everybody's looking for the Holy Grail. It doesn't exist. I just want you to know, stop searching for it, because it doesn't exist. The only thing that is going to even give you a chance at the end of the day is strict money management with discipline. Discipline. And most people either don't want to have discipline, or they just can't because they have internal flaws. Okay? I hope this helped, y'all. I hope this helped. I know I didn't roll nothing out, but Bob, that one's for you, buddy. If it wasn't, clear enough for you, hit me up. I'll try to clear it up for you, or anybody for that matter. If you like the video, go ahead and give me the thumbs up. Maybe consider subscribing. But the best thing that you can do for me, as always, is share this video. Share this video to anybody that you think my channel will help. So until the next time, y'all, be great.